Bulley has described the online obsession with her disappearance as a monster that got out of control.
A 45-year-old mother of two went missing while walking her dog in January last year. Her disappearance received worldwide coverage, became the subject of online conspiracy theories by amateur internet detectives.
Nicola's family has shared publicly, for the first time since her body was found, how they were impacted by the intense social media speculation around the case.
It's emergency.
Oh, hello. My partner left this morning at 8:30 to take my two children to school, and the dog went with her. And then the school's just rung me to say that they've just found the dog. Somebody's found the dog, and my partner's put her phone down on a bench and the dog lead.
Nikki would usually get back after taking the girls and walking Willow. When I got there, got handed Willow, and then I was handed Nikki's phone, and I'm just sort of stood there like, well, what?
I was just sat at my desk and I got a phone call from Paul, and he was panicky and frantic, and he was like, something's happened, something strange has happened.
We got a phone call, didn't we, from Louise, to say Nikki's missing.
We drove over as quick as we could to Paul's, and I said, I've got to go to St Michael's, I've got to try and help.
There was a possibility that she'd entered the water. There was a possibility that she'd sought time alone and left the area. There was a possibility that she was ill or injured on land. But the biggest thing was the dog, Willow. She was off the lead. There was nothing to keep her in that location physically, but she wouldn't leave the area between the bench and the water. In my mind, she was in the water. I was really hoping we'd hear something from the dog.
Somebody will be in touch with you, though, OK?
We didn't sleep much.
No.
We just kept saying, where are you?
Yeah.
On the day that I took over the case, I went to meet the family. At no point was Paul ever a suspect. He'd not left the house until he was contacted by the school.
She just seemed like a normal person, like myself. It could be me. Like, I walk my dogs. I was then trying to understand what had happened, why it had happened.
There was an update a couple of days ago.
On TikTok, I started to do the lives, and we got over 1,000, sometimes nearly 2. So you could see it escalating.
It can absolutely spread the word. There's 2 billion users worldwide, and when I did that first video, it got 3 million views.
Social media. Nikki used it more than I did because she used to sell stuff, so she would do live videos.
Hello, good afternoon. I hope everybody's having a lovely Saturday.
When you experience something like this, you realise what a huge monster it can be, I guess.
Lancashire police say they believe that...
It was all over social media, it was on the television, everywhere.
Wird das Schicksal von Nicola Bulley jetzt aufgeklärt?
It was almost as if people didn't want to believe the police.
And I just had a message come up from a lady referring to a video of me dancing during lockdown. And she sent me a message saying, wow, they say life goes on, but dancing around your kitchen like that already. And I was like, what the hell?
Awful things started to be said. I was getting direct messages from people that I've never met, and you can't do anything about it.
We had arranged for a press conference in order to try and negate the conspiracy theorists.
As soon as she was reported missing, based on a number of specific vulnerabilities that we were made aware of, Nicola was graded as high risk.
I just remember watching it and hearing about the vulnerabilities and looking at you and thinking, oh, God, media are not going to leave that there.
We had to do something. We spoke to the family. We came up with a form of words with their agreement. And by that, I don't mean they were happy about this. They absolutely weren't.
It doesn't have to say that, doesn't have to say this. And then before we knew it, it had just gone. We were still working on it, and then they'd released it.
Lancashire police are facing a growing backlash for revealing that she'd had ongoing struggles with alcohol and the menopause.
Very many women.
What would Nikki think of all this? I mean, bless her, she would be mortified.
For anyone joining now, Lancashire police said this morning you may be aware of police activity around the river to reports of a body in the River Wyre.
At the riverbank, I could see the divers in the river with what I now know is Nikki. So we put a tent up, and I sat with Nikki in that tent for quite a long time until she was taken to the hospital.
Nikki, she was so beautiful. She didn't know it.
As far as Nikki going missing and the mystery to it, I guess, it was just an accident. It doesn't always have to be something sinister linked to something that happens. Sometimes bad things just happen.
Please, Mummy, I miss you, and I wish you could be here.
I still struggle talking about Nikki in the past sense. I feel very blessed that we found each other.
Thanks, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we will be talking to the director of that documentary at 8:10. The Search for Nicola Bulley will be broadcast on BBC One next Thursday and will be available to watch on BBC iPlayer.
So guys, I just wanted to let you know my secret. It is now out before the documentary airs on BBC at 9 o'clock. I just wanted to drop this video and share with you that I was featured in this documentary, and it was an amazing experience. So I just want to thank all of my followers for their support from the beginning. This was one of those cases that was one of my first cases on TikTok. I have grown and learnt so much on my journey, and it wouldn't be possible without my followers who have supported me from the very beginning. So thank you guys, and I hope you have or will enjoy the documentary. Bye guys.